Hi Taurus, welcome to Pure Tarot. I'm doing a mid-March reading, pretty much from now today the 8th until the 18th on the full moon in Virgo. We're going to draw a crystal and see what kind of insight this particular card wants to give us, this kind of crystal and its properties. And we'll take it from there. I'm going to draw one card, out of my makeshift deck, and we'll obviously do some tarot. I basically just did a reading for you, but my cat was acting up and he stole the show. So I'm redoing your reading, Taurus. Yeah, he was being a little too loud. Okay, what is this strange stone? Look at that. It's meteorites. Meteorites are extraterrestrial rocks flung from space. They've been carbon dated to the beginning of time, even older than our sun. Meteorites come in three forms: nickel, iron, chondrites, and palladites infused with radiant peridot. A lot of technical terms here. Who needs it? Children of the stars. That's what it says here. Where to put it? Wherever you gaze toward distant constellations, with or without opening your eyes. When to use it? When you're looking to conduct more spiritual energy, try nickel iron meteorite. When you're looking to chat with a friend in another galaxy, go with chondrite meteorite. And when you want to feel aligned to that universal energy that pulsates through everything, try palladiite meteorite. Either one of the three, who can, because they all connect you to your star stuff. So that's really interesting. So it speaks of starseed, you being a starseed, Taurus, flung from space here on Earth. And that basically you have the ability to connect with the cosmos, and particularly maybe a specific star system. Maybe you already have an affinity for, I don't know, Sirius, the Pleiades, God knows, there's so many constellations. The card that flipped is next. That's interesting. If you're from space, you're like, okay, what's next, right? You want the next cool thing to happen. You're probably maybe a little bit bored here on Earth. If there's no action around you, you're looking for the next thing, the next person, the next project, the next career, the next move. The newness, right? That's so cool. You know, also meteorites, they come, it's funny, we have the tower. It's like, I'm laughing because I'm seeing the meteorite, like the comet, you know, like how it shoots down and it, let's say it falls on the earth, right? It precipitates from the sky, right? Let's get more tarot. That is so interesting. Just with, you know, that meteorite, the next card, and the tower in reverse, it's an interesting. Okay, here we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Cups, We have the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Page of Swords. I'm going to get one more. I'll place them like that just so I can see. I don't know if you see the cards, maybe. And Judgment. Well, you're definitely ready for the next thing, right? You're ready. You're waiting, like in the sense that you're actively waiting. You're waiting for that thing to, it's funny, to come down. Like I get this coming down energy, like the you know, here it's not arrived because it's reversed. It hasn't hit yet. And here it's being announced, so it means it's arriving. So maybe in the next 10 days, right, at the moment, maybe you're expecting something. Maybe you have an inkling of this already, by the way. Maybe by connecting, you know, I like the, whether you gaze towards distant constellations and it had the, whether you have your eyes opened or not, right? So it could be in your mind's eye, but there's something that you're foreseeing, I'm sensing. You know, you'd have enough psychic ability here and enough sensitivity to actually feel that. Maybe not see it, although I think you might, you see, I think you're seeing it because, you know, you're not in your head anymore, like, and, you know, this folded character, she's in reverse, so it means to me that, or at least I'm reading it, like, you're quite aware. You're quite aware of something, Taurus. You're also aware of inegalities, unfairness. Not sure how that ties in, like, or why. It's almost like you're very clear on things that weren't reciprocal. It's really interesting. It's almost like with this Tower in reverse, you might have had a falling out with someone that you actually really care for deeply, with the Queen of Cups here. I think no matter what happened, it doesn't matter what happened. I think you feel something was unfair to you or even to the other person, like the way the resolution of the conflict, if there was any resolution, feels unfair or one-sided, or so I'm not sure how it applies to you. I feel like you're quite clear about what it is. Like I said, I think you definitely sense it, but I think you even see it. I mean, you're quite aware. Here you're ready. You're ready for the next thing. This is the next energy. You know, the sword is up, and A bit defensive, granted, but ready, totally ready. It's interesting. I do sense, I mean, you have the clouds here on the tower, the clouds here on this page of swords. I'm sensing this clouds obviously here surrounding the angel. I'm sensing a little bit of resentment with these clouds on your part. Or some accumulated yeah, it's resentment because it's something that you haven't channeled and you haven't really let out, vented out. So it's a little bit like resentment. It stays inside and it creates like a ball, like yeah, it's a little bit present. And it's also, I can feel it on the Eight of Swords, even if it's in reverse. The Eight of Swords, when she's trapped in her mind like that, she could definitely feel a lot of resentment. So it's residual here, but it's definitely present. I'm really sensing like you want a renewal, and I don't necessarily mean with this particular person. It could, of course, potentially, because it's what the Judgment card implies. But with the next card here, it tells me that you are going to move forward. Meaning, it could be pertaining to a relationship if this was describing a relationship. So you're not necessarily going to get back with this person. You might make peace with them, but something is different. Something is changed. Because it wasn't a proper give and take here. It wasn't balanced. It wasn't fair. I also sense a renewal in the sense of almost like you recreating yourself to an extent. It's funny, it says here, when you're looking to chat with a friend in another galaxy. I don't know, this Judgment card, I mean, it's obviously a dialogue with Source here, a direct connection. It's really interesting. I just felt like you have a hard time with relationships of this world, almost like you long for connections with, you wish other than humans, right? Because maybe you feel like humans are a little too deceiving, or they'll let you down, or you've experienced disappointment, or like I said, one-sided relationships before, and you're cutting through, you know, you're not wanting that anymore. So it's almost like I don't want to say you're giving up on human nature, on humans in general, but I guess you wish that humans weren't so humans. Let me put it that way. It's more like you have high expectations, I can say that. And maybe it's even difficult for people to entertain long-lasting relationships with you for that reason. Maybe they feel you expect too much. Too much perfection is what I'm saying, right? Having this ideal or idealistic view of any form of relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic, right? Any connection. And either you feeling disappointed or even the other person feeling disappointed because they can't meet your expectations. They can never live up to what they perceive you want them to be, right? There's a little bit of that here. You know, the Queen of Cups is particularly idealistic. You know, particularly out of all the queens, she's the most idealistic one. The one that lives a little bit on the fringe of fantasy land. You know, even looking at people she interacts with through rose-tinted glasses, seeing only what's really good, and also making certain qualities bigger than they actually are in individuals. So having the Tower in reverse at the beginning here and then the Judgment, for me is really something is fading out, something is arriving but not yet, and you'll definitely have, and when I say arriving, it's just the passage of moving on from one thing to another. It's coming. If it's not the full moon, it'll be the end of the month, right? But I just want to point out to you that I'm very glad to see that you're out of your head, you're into your emotions, you're in your heart, you're connecting deeply. I think it helps you when you go into your heart. It actually helps you connect with Source, the cosmos, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. But you beautifully opened I think that's really the most important thing, I guess, no matter what happened in the connection, whether it gets resolved or not, whether you simply move on to the next project, the next move, the next person, whatever. It feels positive ultimately. So if that resonated, please share, but like and subscribe, the whole 9 yards. And I'll see you soon. Take care.